welcome to this Bealls Figma tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to create a frame, put a PNG on that frame, and then share that frame, prototype that frame, share that frame, comment on that frame, and then finalize the comments by checking them off. You're going to learn all of the process that you need in order to share your Figma design file for review. So let's get started. So welcome to Figma. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a frame, which is this right here. I'm going to show you how to do this. So let me delete that. And what we're going to do is first we're going to find our page. So on the left-hand side, you see layers and assets, and you may see something like this where there's nothing in here. We're going to find that page first. In the drop-down menu over here, you're going to see something along the lines of page 1. You're going to click on that drop-down, and now you can see that you have some pages. You can add more pages if you'd like, right? So we can add more pages. We can delete that page, right-clicking and deleting the page. We can rename a page by double-clicking, and we can rename the page. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a frame in a page. So we are going to either click on the frame. Now this icon on the top menu has also a drop-down. And in the drop-down, we see that we have frames, select, section, and slices. We're going to talk about those later on or in another course. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to use frame. The shortcut keyboard is F. So we can go to F, and you can see that really quickly it changes to frame. Now, to create a frame, we can click and drag, or we can also, let's hit on that F again. And in the right-hand panel, tool panel, you have some preset sizes. I recommend for email, mobile view of email, to choose the iPhone 13 mini. But we are going to hit F again, and we are going to design on desktop today. So we're going to look for desktop, and we're going to select the preset size for desktop. So now we have a desktop. We can move it around by selecting it and click and dragging. We can also rename it by double clicking, and we are going to rename it sample. Or sample. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab a PNG from our computer folder, and we're going to drag the PNG. So let's do that. We're going to go into our computer. So I'm here in my computer, and I'm going to look for a design file. And I'm going to drag this PNG. Oh, let's drag that PNG. There we go. So see how when I drag over, I have this little plus sign. That means that it's going to accept it. There we go. You can move it around. If it's outside, you will see how it's outside. So on the right-hand side, you're going to see that there are some layers. If your image is outside the layer, you will see it this way. It's not inside. You can click and drag inside the layer, and it will add it to the layer and inside the frame. Or you can also click and drag to add it to the layer. Do you see how it changed? Now what we're going to do is we want this PNG to be the same size as our desktop, because we want to preview the exact size that we are seeing for desktop. So what we want to do is we're going to select our frame, and it's going to give us some sizes here. We're going to copy this size, And then on our PNG, you see this little link on our PNG. We want to make sure that that link is activated so that it constrains the proportions and it keeps the proportions of our PNG when we resize it. So now we're going to go to the width and we are going to paste that size of the desktop and we're going to hit return. So now it is the size of our desktop. Now what we're going to do is we are going to align it or center it. There we go. And now you can see that it's all the way to the corners. And now I can move it down. And there we go. And that is how I want this to look. Now that we have the desktop, right, we do know that it goes over the frame. So you can see it goes over the frame. And we want to see, if we want to see the entire design, what we will do is we're going to click on the frame. And then on our property panel, you see this clip content. We're going to uncheck it. Now you see the entirety of your design. As a designer, I like to see where it clips, right? So I'm going to show you a little trick. We're going to go to the Figma main menu and we are going to turn on the ruler in Figma. So we're going to go down to view, and then there in view, you can see rulers. You can also use the Shift R for the shortcut key for ruler, right? So let's do that. Let's do Shift R, and now we have our rulers. Now I can create a guide, and that's what I would like to do. I'm going to go back into my frame, click on the frame, and I'm going to check back on that clip content because I want to see where it clips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way up again into the ruler, click and drag all the way down, and it's going to stick. Look at this. It's going to stick. Whoop, there it is. It goes pop. Look at it. Pop. And it sticks, right? So I'm going to leave it there. And now I have guides. And I can see that this also goes a little bit above. I'm going to make a little guide there as well. There we go. So now I can uncheck this and I can see where it starts and where it stops. So now that we've made these guides, we are going to put some GIFs because we love movement, right? And we love to keep our guests engaged. So we're going to go back into our folder here. And I'm going to grab one of the GIFs that we have. I'm going to grab and then, oh, there we go. Grab, hold. And then I'm going to go down here to resize it. Now, instead of using the selection tool to resize, because we can resize with this, what I suggest is in the selection tool, you can, this is more of the move tool, right? We can we can drop down and we can actually use the scale, which on your keyboard is the shortcut K. So let's use the scale instead. And if you hold, see how it keeps the proportion? That is because I have my proportions here constrained. We're going to do that with another one. We're going to put one down here. It even says this is animated. All right. So let's go back. Let's grab, drag and drop. And with this one, what we can do also is remember that if I click on the frame, it gives me the size of the frame. So I can go ahead and copy that and I can paste it. Boom. And then see how it's not inside my frame. If it's not inside my frame, I will not have the option of alignment here, and I cannot center it to the frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to my frame by dragging and dropping, selecting, and there we go. Now it's inside. As you can see, and I can see as well, this is actually much smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the scale tool, make sure that my constraint proportion icon is activated, and I'm going to scale to the size that we need. There we go. And we can move. And there we are. We're going to also add the mom's gift that we had added before into our frame. There we go. And now all of my frames, all of my design elements are inside the frame. All right. So now when I preview, this should have also the GIF that we can see. All right. So we're going to preview. Oh no, we are previewing on mobile. So why is this? Figma has pre-selected design frames that it previews on. So we are going to go back and we're going to change that. So let's go back to our tab. It also creates a tab. Let me show you real quick the tabs. So it created this tab and it got us into the preview mode. Let's go back. It's called presentation mode. All right. So let's go back and we are going to present again, but we're going to change how it looks. So we're going to go to prototype, and you can see here the device that it's using is iPhone X, and we are previewing an iPhone X. We can preview on many different devices. As you can see here, they have preset devices for us. But right now, what I like to do is instead of previewing a device, I would like to select none. So now we're going to go back into that top right corner, and we're going to drop down. We have present and preview. We're going to select present, right? So we're going to select present, and now we're previewing, and you can see the size and the frame has changed. Now, we want for people to be able to scroll down, right? But I can't scroll down further than this. And why is that? Because we have not let Figma know that we want to scroll down. So let's go back and I'm going to show you how to do that. Again, in the prototype mode or tab, we're going to select our desktop. And you can see here under scroll behavior, there is overflow and then no scrolling. We are going to click on this and we're going to go on the drop down to vertical. Now we can scroll vertically. So we are going to go back. We don't always have to present if we keep our tab open, because this is live. The live changes are actually happening as we make the changes. So we're going to go back into the tab and we're going to see that the changes have been applied, and I can go all the way down. And as you could see, let's go back up here. We have the design moving, right? So the GIFs are working. I'm going to go down here. There we go. So something is happening with this GIF. Let's go back and figure out what is going on. There we go. So sometimes little things like this may happen. What I did was I just added it back in, but really what fixed it is I just had to refresh that page where I had the presentation. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize it. Go. Let's see if. And so let's refresh again. And there you have it. All right. So now we know that if a GIF is not working, it may be that we have to refresh the presentation page. Now, all we have to do is we want to share our presentation. So I'm going to go all the way up here. I'm going to hit on share prototype. And I'm going to add, let's add this other person in. And we can either say can view or can edit. Okay, so we're going to put them as can view and we're going to invite them over. We're inviting them over, send invite, and there we go. So now Christine Deer, the invite has been sent and they can review this. We can also copy the link, right? So you can copy the link and what you would do is you would paste it either in Teams or you can paste it in a inbox, right? And we are going to create also a template, an inbox template mail for you that will include a link on how to review. So in case the people that you are inviting over to make comments into your file can review the tutorial so that they know really quickly. They're like, I know how to comment and make my review. All right, so we're going to exit out of here. And what we're going to do now that we know how to send the link, we can comment. I'm going to go into Safari, log in. All right, so I am logging in as the other account or in another account where I have been invited to this file. And so I can see the file. Oh, very cool. I can see this file. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Here we go. So I can see the entire file. I can scroll. I can see the animation. Oh, very cool. But I can do other things as well. I can comment. So I'm the reviewer and now I'm going to comment and I'm going to say,
oh my God, we love shoes.
We can then submit and now we have a little comment. As a designer, I can go back into my Figma file and guess what? I can see the comment. Now that I can see the comment in my file, I can also, as the designer, reply back to that. I can reply to the person by selecting @ right? And so @ and then I want to select the person that I am going to direct the comment to and say,
the design team decided to leave title as is, respectfully.
All right. We can also use, instead of the old way, can also select some of these icons, right? So we can just say, there we go. And we can submit. So then as the reviewer, you can see that there's 2 people over here and the designer has commented right? And so I can open it up and I can see, right? I can also, if I have more than one comment, this is pretty cool. Let's say that I have a comment here. Cool animation, right? When I am back on the top, I can click and it will take me to where that comment is. Pretty cool, right? I can also say, you know what? This has already been resolved. So I can resolve this comment, right? I can delete comments that I have made by delete this thread or delete the comment. However, as the designer, because I did not create, let's get this all the way down. So as the designer, I can resolve this, but I cannot delete this thread because I did not create this thread. And that is how you create a frame, add a PNG, add GIFs into the frame, prototype it, present it, and then share, and then comment on Figma. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, please don't forget to Teams me and send me a message through there. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching again.